Okay, hello everyone. I'm here with Martina, and
Hello.
we're talking about yoga today. And because my group is all about self care without the guilt, I wanted to bring her on and talk about her journey with self care, yoga, self love, and all of that. So, Martina, will you tell us just like who you are first in general?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so my name is Martina Wool. I live in Canada and I'm a mom and a wife and all those things. And kind of my business is just to empower women to find self-love at any size through many different holistic and mystic approaches. One of them being yoga. So that's kind of me.
Great. Thank you so much. We've been collaborating with yoga for a while now.
Yeah.
So, my first question is tell us about your journey kind of to finding yoga. Like, how did it come to be in your life?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I was kind of on a weight loss journey is how I ended up finding yoga. I never thought I could do yoga based upon my size because I was always kind of taught or told that, or kind of shown that yoga was only for certain people and that person wasn't me. So I would never try it. Like I had girlfriends that tried to get me to go to classes and I refused because I'm like, I will look like a beached whale on the mat. I will not do it. And so I kind of had this goal in my mind of like, I will go to a yoga class when I lose this many pounds, which looking back now, I hate that I did that to myself. But I went to my first class and I think that's really been the kind of like that if you look back on life-changing moments, that was definitely one of those times for me because my first class, I can remember it like it was yesterday. And I just felt so at home. Like I felt so much peace and so much like um just knowing that like there was that form of movement out there that just made me feel so good because up till that point I didn't really have any movement that I really loved. Like I did things, but it was never felt like home. And so yoga is home for me. Like I just that first and then that right after that first class I signed up for my yoga teacher training and I just dove into it like full throttle because uh I just loved it so much and it just felt like my soul kind of workout or movement or whatever. And which has led me into my self-love journey. And I think that's yoga brings so much sense of like self-worth and self-acceptance and connecting to your body and your breath and all those things that were missing from my life before. Like I never focused on breath before that or like any of those things. So it just opened my eyes to a whole different level of getting to know myself, which has kind of
Yeah.
led me to where I am now.
There's so much packed into what you said, and I resonate with so much of it. This First of all, when you hear the word yoga, like you automatically get an image of, like you said, an image of a
Yeah.
yogi that you're like, well, that's not me, so I'm not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And now, as we see more and more yoga surfacing with lots of different types of teachers and
Yeah.
lots of different types of modalities, I think that we can all find somebody that we connect with as a teacher. And I think it's great that you just jumped right into it and was like, oh, I love it. I'm going to do it.
For me, yeah.
The other part about like the coming to home, oh my gosh, that was me too. Like, I've always, since the age of 18, when I was in college, took the class and was just felt like this was a safe place for me
Yeah.
to come to. I grew up with a lot of feelings of unsafe emotions. So it's like I finally found a place where I can find like a safe place within and let it out on the mat
Yeah.
and like come to it when I need it. And yeah, that ability to the capability, I think, was like I can handle
Yeah.
all that comes to me when I'm on this mat. It's like I'm not doing it for anybody else.
Yeah.
It's just for
Absolutely.
me. So I loved that part about like this is home. This,
Yeah.
and I tell when I teach the kids, I say, your mat is your safe place. We're not going to come into anybody else's, mat
Yeah.
unless we're doing a partner pose. We're asking them to do this. Like we want to feel safe in our
Yeah.
yoga space. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
So you mentioned your like self-love journey, and how does your yoga practice continue to build that self-love, and how does it translate to the other parts of your self-care in general?
Yeah. I think that the self-love piece with yoga really comes from that place of connecting to your body, because I was at such a disconnect with my body before my yoga journey that every time I step on the mat, it's just meeting your body where it is. It's not kind of this perceived thing of like, oh, I have to master this pose or that pose or do this perfectly. It's really just the beauty of yoga is that everybody can do it. And that's not something I used to believe. And so I think it's just that self-love piece of meeting yourself where you are and being able to just do whatever feels good for your body. And if it doesn't feel good, then you shouldn't be doing it. And because exercise in the past was always like more pain, more gain. Like it's always that kind of mentality, where yoga is just meeting yourself where you are. And I think that's really the biggest piece of the self-love aspect, is it just allowed me to experience movement designed for my body, because I would only do things that felt good to my body. And then it also kind of gave me that sense of uh kind of figuring out what my body was capable of, because there was things that I never thought I would be able to do. But as I kind of like practiced with my yoga practice and got, kind of more in tune with it, like there was poses that I never thought a person of my body could have done before. So it's really just that empowerment piece too, of being able to uh do things and like have kind of that health related goal to like, I want to do this pose, so I'm going to work really hard and I'm going to get there. And you do, like, yoga, you can see such like, I know if there's like a week or two that goes by that I don't practice, my body tell, like I can definitely tell. And so when I am practicing normally, it's amazing how your body like increases its kind of like your strength and your flexibility and all those things kind of improve so quickly if you have a consistent yoga practice. So I think it just also inspired me to know that my body is capable of awesome things. Like,
Yeah,
um,
I love that part about it too.
yeah,
And you've taught kids before. I know that about you.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
to see that in kids, they just show the delight. They show the proudness. Like they haven't been
yeah,
conditioned to not show it. They're
yeah,
like so proud, and it's boastful. And so when you work with adults, sometimes they hold that in, and it's like,
yeah,
I love that we can, as a yoga teacher, really shine that for them and like embrace it in ourselves. Like, wow, I couldn't do that yesterday. I couldn't do that last
yeah,
week. Like, let's notice it, right? We're not
yeah,
judging. Um, and the part about, finding things that your body can do. When I first started, I was very tight. I could
yeah,
not bend over and touch anywhere near my toes. And I was very full of pain, tightness. And I remember through the 4 years of college, just I kept going week after week to that class. I knew I was going to get there. And by the end of senior year, I was doing headstands, and I was like, wow, like there was no way I would have done any of that. Like,
no, I know,
if
right?
I hadn't just kept going with it.
Yeah.
Um, so, oh, someone's calling me. What do you have going on these days? I know we're adding some of your videos to my yoga club for anybody in my yoga club to do your videos.
Yeah.
Um, and you mentioned that it's translated into just being more intentional in other parts of your life. Like, mindful eating is a huge one for
Yeah.
me. Tell us a little bit about the other like programs that this intentional living has translated into, or the self-love
Yeah.
journey.
No, like I think, yeah, like being the yoga, I think my yoga journey kind of has launched me into all, like you said, these other modalities that just add more tools to our tool belt of self-love and self-care. So things like meditation, and then crystals, and oracle cards, and then the mindful eating or intuitive eating pieces. Like there's all these different aspects of um that really yoga was the starting point for all of that. And so now I'm at a place where I'm helping other people kind of discover the same thing that I have discovered, that has brought such a sense of love and peace in my life. So I do have in the yoga club with Tanya's yoga club, I have 5 different practices in there for you guys, anywhere from like 10-minute to 30-minute practices. I'm a firm believer in we don't always have time to do yoga. And so I try and aim my practices to be not too long, because I feel like myself, I never have an hour to dedicate to a yoga practice, being a busy mom. And so I do value that. So yeah, so I have like in the yoga club that Tanya's going to be adding to the videos is I have like a gentle back bend practice, and a restorative practice, and a balancing practice, and then a chair yoga practice, and a outdoor yoga practice. So, and they're super fun, and just really all abilities and body types can do them. And yeah, so I'm excited for you guys to have them in there.
Yeah, and you're I'm excited to do them too. I haven't been able to do them yet, but in your Facebook group, you have a yoga challenge that I just did, and I love that you said, we're busy moms, and this is why I have my reactive to relax group, is that
Yeah.
90-day challenge is like little tiny steps you can do
Yes.
during your day to bring more mindfulness and more attention to your body, because we get so far in the head and we're so busy.
Yeah.
We can drop back to our body and really connect. That's where the self-love starts to cultivate.
Yes, absolutely.
And your 5-day yoga challenge, I love that you had one that was in the kitchen. It was like, oh yeah, we could just, stop in the kitchen and stretch.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's a practice that it's become my routine, that while I'm cooking dinner, I'll just do those couple poses, and it just kind of, what, like you said, allows you to drop into your body and just connect to your breath, and kind of just catch your breath and yourself and be like, okay, I'm okay. Like
Yeah.
just yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so it's good.
Well, tell us where to find you then.
Sure, yeah.
The group name and other places to find you.
Yeah, so I do have a community on Facebook called Imperfectly Perfect You, finding self-love at any size, and just kind of doing that very thing. We're just empowering each other to work on our self-love journeys and our self-care practices, and just getting to know ourselves from an inward kind of level. And so that group can be found at imperfectlyperfectyou.ca. And then I have my website that has, and that's martinahealthandwellness.com. And that has that's where all my courses live. So I have a Harness the Power of Crystals course that kind of teaches you the basics of kind of crystals and why you would want them to be a part of your self-love journey. And then I have a self-love journaling course that takes you through kind of finding your magic through journaling. And in that program too, there's some yoga and meditation videos that kind of go alongside the journal. And then I have a yoga and mindful eating program that takes you through 28 days of yoga and meditations and mindful eating workbooks to allow you to kind of like heal your relationship with food and make peace with food, and kind of find that movement that you love if you like yoga. So, and then I do have another program that will be launching here soon called the Self-Love Revolution with Martina. And Tanya's actually has a spot in there that she's going to be helping us with some new tool stuff. So I'm super excited for that. And that program is kind of a life coaching program that's going to be available to people for life, and just taking you through lots of different approaches and tools to kind of find that self-love at any size and embrace who you are, and yeah, so that's kind of where you can find me and what I'm all about.
Yay. So
Yeah.
we will have your materials in the yoga club and this video in my guide section to find Martina and join us in the self-love revolution.
Yay.
And I thank you so much for being here. What's the bottom of your shirt say? Beautiful isn't a size.
Beautiful isn't a size. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyone that, thinks that they aren't able to do yoga, we're here saying like anybody can do it. So come join us. Thanks so much, Martina.
Thanks, Tanya.
Bye for now.